tell you I'm worried. I'm worried the Zeries that you're running into in game right now are just bad. I'm worried that this character is very good and maybe a little crazy, and you might just be running into bad Zeries.
The idea that she was balanced did not last long. See, when a champion releases with over a 50% win rate, it's a good signal that something is not right, because players haven't even had a chance to learn the champion and are already winning most of their games. That was exactly the case with Zeri, and her strength is really reflected in her ban rate. While she was intended to be an AD carry and was supposed to build AD carry items, she was actually building bruiser items. Trinity Force synergized perfectly with her Q, triggering Spellblade. Each hit of her Q barrage also applied the Armor Shred from Black Cleaver, and also triggered Titanic Hydra too. Zeri wasn't just ultra mobile, she was also tanky due to building bruiser items. Being incredibly strong in solo queue was a pretty small problem overall though, because she completely dominated pro play. In the LCS Spring Split, which began shortly after Zeri's release, she was pick or ban for the entire split. Out of 92 games, she was picked or banned in 91. Keep in mind that before the split had even started, Riot had already nerfed Zeri 3 times. Whenever an ADC is this good at kiting, especially with as much range as Zeri had, it becomes very difficult to find a way to balance her. Pro players are so mechanically skilled at the game that they can get a lot more value out of a kit that allows for a literal infinite amount of kiting. Because Zeri was so ridiculously good in pro teams, they nerfed her again in a hotfix, making it her 4th nerf in one split. The good news is that Riot did succeed in nerfing her enough that players were incentivized to build crit in order to deal enough damage. But it really didn't matter. Things only got worse. Zeri had received so many nerfs that she was very weak in solo queue, falling below a 45% win rate. Normal players in a solo queue environment just couldn't find success with her. Riot had to try to find a way to balance Zeri, and for the first time since her release, they actually buffed her in patch 12.11. This probably sounds very strange, considering what an issue she had been since her release. Why buff her now, especially when the community was already tired of her? Well, in that very same patch, they released a new skin for Zeri too, so suddenly that makes a lot more sense. These buffs to Zeri actually made her so strong that her solo queue win rate went from being as low as 45% to hitting 54% on the first day. This patch buffed most of her kit, except for her ultimate, which was slightly nerfed. The weirdest change was that they made it so her Lux ultimate, her W, always crit when going over terrain. This created many situations like this one.
They're gonna end mid.
Zeri could just throw out her W constantly, and if it ever landed on someone, then the fight was basically over and the enemy team just couldn't contest the objective. The very next day, after collecting that sweet skin money, Zeri was again hotfix nerfed. And in the next 2 months, she received 4 more nerfs for good measure. Despite all of this, Zeri still crushed in the summer split. She was the most contested pick again, and to be clear, this was across multiple regions. There are a few factors that made it so that Zeri was impossible to balance in both pro play and solo queue. The nature of her scaling extremely well throughout the game translated perfectly into pro play. No matter how weak she was made early or how poor her laning was, pro teams would just play to scale, let Zeri come online later in the game, and then completely dominate from there. In solo queue though, team comps aren't as clear and many players don't want to coordinate with their team. It doesn't matter if Zeri needs to scale throughout the game, people are going to play however they want. To make Zeri even remotely good in solo queue meant that she would be by extension so broken in the competitive scene that she would need to be hotfix nerfed immediately. For those keeping count, less than 9 months after her release, Zeri had been nerfed 10 times. And because she dominated the spring and summer splits, the player base was already exhausted from seeing her picked. At the same time, Riot was getting very nervous. See, Worlds 2022 was coming up, and the last Worlds tournament was completely dominated by one specific champion, which I intentionally didn't mention yet. But you knew this was coming. I'm talking about the Demon of League of Legends, the most controversial champion to ever be created, and Zeri's best friend. Yuumi. At Worlds 2021, before Zeri even existed, Yuumi dominated from the very first game.
That thing
thing scares me.
Can we get a remake?
The long, slow debate. There it is. There's the Yumi. They think that perhaps Rogue would go for evil.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. "30 seconds until minions spawn. Minions have spawned.
Doing it. Looking good. Salem. Just the luck of the draw. Clear as day. Charmed, I'm sure. Looking good. Pick a card. one of a kind. Charmed, I'm sure. See you there.
An ally has
Eyes open.
been enemy double kill.
Looking good. Deal 'em.
Turret plating will soon fall.
It's my lucky day.